being around the facility and seeing him and talking to him and just knowing him, I'm not shocked because he is a guy that always knows what he wants, and he goes to get it. Am I surprised? Yes. Am I shocked? No, because I mean, obviously, he's the best linebacker in football, and to just walk away, I personally feel like there's something else going on behind it. Maybe there's some health issues or some family issues that you know that's going on. But I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. But he's my guy. I love him to death. I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of guys that can say they walked away from the game the way that they wanted to.
He seems like such a cerebral guy, and I saw that Jonathan Stewart tweeted out that he should be maybe hired as the defensive coordinator as Coach Rule is putting together a staff here. How would he be as a coach, and do you think that's actually a good idea? Could still stays with the team, still in the family, but not as a player anymore? What do you think of that?
Well, I think as a player, you have to be you have to have a certain mindset to turn over and be a coach. Luke. I think Luke has that perfect mindset because he's not married. He doesn't have any kids. You know what I mean? He can afford to spend those 20, 22-hour days at the facility preparing. But me, on the other hand, I'm married for almost 10 years. I'm 3 kids in, pick school. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it.
Right, you can't
But
couch in the office.
right, mentally, he is. I don't think there's anybody better.
Is he
That
a smart
anybody there's no
guy? He seems like a
right
smart football guy.
mentally. I mean, he's the smartest football player I've ever been around. Him and Phillip Rivers, I would put one and two.
Wow. So you think
Yeah,
he'd be a great coach, and you think this is actually a good idea?
I think he'd be a great coach. I think he's an even better motivator. He's a guy that doesn't say a lot, but he's impactful when he talks. So if he's in charge of a room, or whether it be a linebacker room or a defensive room, they're going to listen because this is a guy that is going to be a Hall of Famer. So you're going to listen just like we all listen to Ron Rivera because he's been there. He's done it before.
Obviously, had an amazing career on the football field. Now you're kind of transitioning to life after football. And I know, like, combat sports boxing has always been something that you have loved, and now you're actually opening a gym. Now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty ironic how the world comes full circle. I did what we call cross box in California. My trainer came up with the whole program, and it's pretty similar to what I do with rock box. But yeah, I've always been interested in it. Did it as my primary source of staying in shape during my career. Don't really like running. Didn't really like running, so I'd use boxing as a form to get my cardio, and it's the best cardio out there. And I like to say I got pretty good at it.
So why now actually like open a gym yourself? Why
Hmm.
get into the business of boxing?
Well, I looked at different opportunities, but I kept coming back to it. My wife is really really big into it. This is a passion of hers as well, is fitness, and she loves boxing as I do. And I just kept coming back to it, like, why not do something that we love doing? What I'm saying? That way we're not working at it. We're just enjoying going and being around people, creating a community in our own studio.
You're obviously a great competitor. Look what you did on the football field. Any thoughts of taking any boxing matches? I'm sure you're going to be spending a lot of time in the gym. Any thought of actually fighting?
Well, previously I wanted to fight when I got done playing ball. My boy Greg Hardy, he does the MMA, UFC stuff now.
Yeah.
I wanted to box, you know what I'm saying? But having an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old, the time commitment to boxing is too great. And my wife was like, look, I've watched you hit and be hit for the past 10 years. You're not boxing. You can work out and you can train as much as you want, but you're not doing any, you know, legit matches. I've sparred plenty of times and I've sparred against professional fighters, but I would like to fight, but I don't think she's going to allow it.